Urban Legend Will Evans, welcome to the live stream. I have the latest update on Diddy's case. I have all his paperwork in front of me, his sealed indictment in front of me, and it's not looking good for Diddy right now. It looked like the situation has gone from bad to worse. And right now, I don't know how Diddy is even keeping his sanity sitting behind bars right now. It's being said and being reported, and I'm going to show you guys all the reports that I have, and I'm going to show you where an attorney actually spoke on this and broke it down as well, that Diddy is facing up to 50 witnesses. 300 warrants have been issued by the federal government for witnesses to come forward and testify against him. They're saying that there's going to be a superseding indictment on Diddy where new charges are going to be filed as a result of all the witnesses that are coming forward. And it's being reported that his employees that were formerly working for him haven't been charged in the RICO that Diddy is facing because they're working with the government and they've been working with the government for a long time. So it seems like maybe his employees took a deal and that's why they're not a part of the RICO. Now, I have his paperwork right here in front of me. You guys can see this is the sealed indictment. And this is against Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, PD, and Love. He's the defendant on this. This is straight from the United States District Court, Southern District of New York. So it looks bad, man, and it's not looking like it's going to get any better anytime soon. We're going to jump into all this, man. You guys know how we do on the live streams. I only got a couple of rules. I ask that when you come in, you hit the like button. I want to thank you guys for voting for me. I'm about to be on Forbes. So thank you guys for supporting that and going over there and voting. Keep voting because it's a competition for me to get an article in Forbes. I'm one of the nominees of the 2025 Entrepreneur of Impact list. And I'm going to be nominated in I'm hoping to be nominated this summer for another Forbes list of the next generation of wealth builders. Wealth teachers, I should say, in America. So thank you guys for voting on that. If you haven't voted, you can click the link in the description and vote. The other rules of the room. When you guys come in here, be respectful to everybody in here. If you got a question or comment you want me to put on the screen, send it to the super chat. We're going to do entrepreneur hour and community hour at the end of this. After I present all this information, I give you guys what you're here for. Then we'll have the entrepreneur talk. So save your entrepreneur questions to the end. And like always, man, all I ask is you guys to hit that like button if you're in here watching. Let's keep the likes up to 50% of the people in the room. That means if 100 people are watching, 50 people hit that like button for me. Every live stream, before we get into any details or any information, I always start with a prayer. I like to pray for my subscribers. It's subscriber-only chat. And members also get the priority of being put on screen. If you put a comment as a member of the channel, you can be put on screen too. All right, man, let's get into this, man. Let's start with our prayer like we always do. Everybody out there, bow your heads, close your eyes if you can right now, if you're not driving or at work. Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you humbly, God. We're so grateful that we're free today. We're so grateful that we have an opportunity to wake up and give life another chance. God, I pray for everybody that's listening right now. I pray for everybody under the sound of my voice. Anything that I say that's incorrect, let it be clear that it came from Will Evans. And anything that I say correct, let it be clear that it came from you, Father God. We thank you for this. We thank you for this platform. We thank you for a community of positive people, God, entrepreneurs, successful people, people that are out there trying to just get information and fellowship and have a good time or be entertained. We all here today together, God, and I ask that you let something from this platform be positive, a positive light in these people's day. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, man. Let's get into this, man. This is the indictment that Diddy has. Now, this all pretty much kicked off when Dave Chappelle, or I guess it got resurfaced when Dave Chappelle did that. I don't know. I don't want to call it a routine, but it was like a stand-up routine on SNL. And he questioned publicly, how come Diddy is the only person that's charged in the RICO? He said something to the effect of, you know, it's bad for Diddy right now because he's the only person charged in the RICO. And everybody went wondering, why is that? And now it seems like information is coming forward on why exactly that might be. So let's get to what Dave Chappelle says so we can understand, and we'll get to the breakdown that a lawyer did on this, and we'll get to all the paperwork and reports in a second. The article says Dave Chappelle trolled Diddy during his SNL appearance. Dave Chappelle took aim at Diddy with the lengthy monologue over the weekend. In doing so, he joked about how he was able to avoid being roped into the allegations surrounding the bad boy mogul. The jokes came as Diddy remains behind bars in Brooklyn awaiting trial for the charges, which include trafficking and racketeering. This is a quote from Dave Chappelle. He said, "I've been in trouble in my day, but let me tell you, this guy Puffy is in an enormous amount of trouble. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. They've got this guy in a RICO case by himself." He said, "A lot of my friends ask me, Dave, did you know anything about those freak-off parties?" And I'll be like, "Nah, man, I didn't know anything about the freak-offs." From there, Dave Chappelle joked about being too ugly to receive an invite to the freak-offs. He said, "Can you imagine reading a newspaper and finding out everyone in Hollywood had an orgy behind your back? None of y'all called me. That really hurts." So Dave Chappelle was joking about this, but in all good jokes, there's some truth to it. Why is Diddy the only one charged in the RICO, right? Typically in RICO charges, you see a bunch of people charged. So everybody kind of is asking that same question. We waiting for a list to come out of who else is involved and who else is going to be charged in this RICO. Dave Chappelle, the article says, had more to say. He went on to bring up the alleged relationship between the bad boy mogul Diddy and Reginald Val Johnson. He said, "I saw something on the internet, probably not true, but it said Puff was in the back with Carl Winslow from Family Matters." And he said, "And I thought, oh my God, Carl Winslow was invited and I wasn't invited. That's worse than I thought." So he keep joking about it. And you guys have probably seen Dave Chappelle do this SNL monologue. And so if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It was pretty funny. Now, that being said, this report from the the LA Times has come out and said that if I were a celebrity, this is a quote. I think it's from the prosecutor's office. The prosecutor's office said they're very much treating this matter, the Diddy case, like a mobster case, and articulating various roles that different people played in supporting the conspiracy. Now, this article, this is from LA Times. They say that Diddy, that Diddy's prosecutors have been silent about exactly where the case is going next, but they called out his employees and associates for helping Sean Combs and often covering up for him. So this is where it gets good, you guys. This is an article from LA Times. This is where it gets good. It says, "If I were a celebrity who participated in one of Combs' freak-offs, I would be shaking in my boots. At best, they're a witness in the case that is very likely going to trial. At worst, they're a co-defendant." So this is the federal prosecutor, Niyama Romani, that said this. And they say it's 50 witnesses and 300 warrants that have been issued. Hit that like button if you guys just came in. If you haven't hit the like button, just hit that like button. Let's keep the likes up, you guys. 50 witnesses, 300 warrants. Crazy. The fact that the government had time to issue 300 warrants tells you how hard they're working on this case alone. 50 witnesses, that's like Nino Brown's level of witnesses. Like, bro, you got all of New York coming out to testify against you. I don't see how Diddy could beat this case, but this lawyer I'm gonna show you guys in a second, he said that there is a possible out that Diddy might be able to beat this case. So I want to show you guys what he had to say, and he kind of broke this down a little bit too. The article says Shapiro, this is Diddy's lawyer, said the government has interviewed more than 50 witnesses and served 300 warrants, and it is clear that it is far more than the word of a dozen or so women who have accused Combs of sexual abuse in litigation filed since last fall, when his former girlfriend Cassie filed a lawsuit, and Combs settled with significant payout within 24 hours. So they're saying that this list of witnesses that are coming forward are more than just the women that are filing lawsuits. This is a list of 50 witnesses and 300 warrants that have been issued. Several witnesses who worked with Combs have been in meetings with federal prosecutors, and at least one prostitute is slated to testify in a potential proceeding. So as to whether others will be charged or more charges are forthcoming, prosecutors say it remains active. So if Diddy's going to get more charges, they're saying it's remaining active. They're still doing investigation even while he's in jail, which is crazy. Imagine facing a case like this and you still got to worry about if they're going to bring new charges. The U.S. attorney said, I can't take anything off the table. Anything is possible. So he said, our investigation is still active, very active and ongoing. So the U.S. attorney, Emily Johnson, was in court and she reminded the judges that Diddy still possesses the power to pretty much do cover-ups and coerce witnesses. The article says Combs is accused of using his hip-hop entertainment empire to lure females and victims, employing violence, coercion, and drugs to get women to take part in freak-offs. And we all know what he's accused of. I'm not going to keep going into that because we already know what he's accused of. Prosecutors allege the music icon's business network was ultimately about furthering his criminal conduct. Because of the threats of violence and concerns that their financial support would be withdrawn and that sensitive recordings would be circulated, victims did not believe they could refuse Combs without risking their security and facing more abuse. So this is why they're not naming the employees that Diddy actually had working for him that were a part of this. Now, if you guys remember, there were a couple employees that everybody was like, yo, what happened to this dude? Or what happened to that dude? And I'm going to bring those people up in a second too. But I thought it was interesting too, because those people just kind of disappeared. We heard a little bit about them a few months back, and then we hadn't heard nothing about them. Remember the guy that Diddy was accused of being Diddy's drug mule? I have information on him, and I'm gonna show you guys in a second. And then the one that was accused, the lady that was accused of being Diddy's right-hand woman, what happened to her? So there was a whole bunch going on and a whole bunch of people around that they haven't been charged, and everybody like, yo, what happened to them? Ain't they a part of this RICO? So Dave Chappelle saying that kind of reopened that wound, opened that Band-Aid. I was like, what's going on? But the key part of this article from the LA Times was the 50 witnesses, 300 warrants. That was one part of it, but it was also the part where they said, where is it? That they're very much treating this matter like a mobster case and articulating various roles that different people played in supporting the conspiracy. And prosecutors have been silent about exactly where the case is going, but they called out Diddy's employees and associates for helping Combs and often covering up for him. Now, the prosecutors are very serious about this case, man. They even went on in the New York Times, articles posted that said prosecutors argue Sean Combs can't pay his way out of detention. So they're like, we're not going to let Diddy pay his way out of jail. They're even aware of that. Like, Diddy trying to get out using money. They put a quote that said the district court rightly rejects Combs' effort to pay his way out of detention. This is what the prosecution wrote. Said when the record established that no set of conditions could ensure the safety of the community. Now, it's being quoted in these articles that basically Diddy, they're scared to release the names of the employees that Diddy had working with him on this stuff because they think Diddy is going to be able to sway them from testifying. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out in court. Now he may be facing new charges because of all this information. But before we even get to that, I'm going to show you guys that in a second too. I want to show you guys what this lawyer had to say and how he broke down the situation. I thought what he had to say on it was really interesting. So he's been breaking down this Diddy situation from the beginning. So let's hear what he had to say on this, and we'll get back into the articles and everything else. Let's check it out.
To the overwhelming interest in the Diddy case was fascinating. One of the biggest questions that is being asked is about the RICO. And I think a lot of it came from the Dave Chappelle skit that I have not seen over Saturday Night Live, but apparently where he spoke about the fact that Diddy, Diddy's in trouble when you are charged by yourself in a RICO indictment, which is true. That you are charged by yourself in a RICO indictment is a problem. don't forget that the government is going to have the Star Trek Enterprise letter is going to be coming out sometime in March. That letter specifically is going to spell out the details of the Enterprise. What is going to be fascinating about that is I think that's where we're going to start getting some names of individuals who are involved in the inner circle, if you will, of Combs.
So he said in March, we're going to get more information and the federal government is going to release the names of the people in his inner circle, in Diddy's inner circle, that were involved in all this. And he said in March, we're also going to get the list of employees that are testifying against Diddy and that are going to be coming forward, because he says they've been working with the federal government for a long time. Check this. He going to keep going. Check it out.
Why I think this is interesting is these are, I believe, individuals you're going to find out are witnesses. These are people who are going to be testifying. These are people who are going to be talking. These are people who are going to talk about the inner workings of this organization because it is necessary. So I think that's why these names have not been put on the RICO indictment yet, because I think they've been cooperated for quite some time. And
we got 850 people in here. 200 people hit the like button. Come on, you guys. Hit that like button. Let's get the likes up. We should be at least 400 likes. Let's get the likes up, you guys. Come on. I'm bringing you guys information. Free. All I'm asking you guys to do is hit that like button, the free like button. Thumbs up the video.
Candidly, the reason that they don't want Diddy to know these names is because they're afraid that they will be intimidated or intimidate Sean. That is a distinct possibility. Now, the cross-examination of these people is going to write itself. You were looking at 20 years. You're not going to serve any time whatsoever. They have protected your name. They have protected your identity. You are now just testifying to save your ass. And as a matter of fact, isn't it true, according to you, that you are a witness, you are a participant, and you saw all of these butt-naked baby oil freak-off parties, and not one point in time did you call law enforcement? Did you do anything? This was actually consensual behavior, wasn't it? That's going to be the defense. And if anything, if you've seen, the defense has already tipped their hand, and I don't know if it was a big legal stretch, that the argument quite simply is going to be that this is consensual behavior, that all these individuals were engaged in consensual behavior. Now, I've heard a lot of questions in the comments like, but they were drugged. I get it. But how are you going to prove it? And I know what we're going to say. Well, they said they were drugged. Well, without drug tests, without individuals going to the hospital, and don't forget, the government has to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt. And so victim one, who we all know who is that's going to be, we'll protect her name and call her Assy.
That was funny.
She is going to testify. She's going to testify emotionally. She's going to testify, and I guarantee you there's going to be some credibility. The problem is going to be, she did get paid.
Facts.
That's going to come out. The problem for cross-examining purposes is going to be if he is this abhorrent monster, if he has done the disgusting thing that you have alleged, why were you with him for 10 years?
That's a good point, man. I hate to admit it, but that's a good point. Cassie gonna have to face cross-examination. And when she gets on stand, like this lawyer is saying, she gonna have to get on the stand and they're gonna ask, well, if you weren't a part of that and you were such a victim, 10 years, never nothing, not a police report. And I get being scared and I get being a victim and I get all that. But that is going to be a question that they ask. He's not wrong there. I'm not saying that Diddy is innocent or that she's wrong. I'm just saying that that's a question that is going to be asked by the prosecution, or excuse me, the Diddy's defense team.
I think the response is going to be, because I loved him. And that's what they're going to want. They're going to say, what we have shown is a dysfunctional, fucked up relationship, but not sex trafficking. Don't shoot the messenger. I just think that's what the defense is going to be. And then finally, we talked a lot about.
I think this is where he ended that. I think he started talking about something else.
Protection letter. The fact that Combs's legal team has filed all of these things, talking about the 9 videos, and the fact that on these 9 videos, they show a consensual relationship, and how absolutely, I don't want to say stupid, so I'll say stupid, it is that they are complaining that the government doesn't want them to put this stuff out there to influence potential jury pools. I still believe a superseding indictment is coming.
I believe that
Could be
too.
wrong, but I believe a superseding indictment is still coming because I do believe the consent defense is interesting. And finally, the last thing is everybody's talking about the TikTok ban.
We'll talk about that later. But even this lawyer says that he believes a superseding indictment is coming. And if that's the case, then Diddy's going to be facing new charges. Now, if there's new witnesses and employees come forward and they've been wearing wires, and like the government is saying that they've been doing, they've been working with the feds for a long time, according to the government. If that's the case, then I would assume that maybe what's going on is the feds is trying to see what's Diddy's hand. If I've been through the system. A lot of y'all probably been locked up before, or know somebody that's been locked up before. You know how the government, they can do whatever they want. So I'm thinking when I hear that new charges may be coming and that the charges that are there, they have a good defense, like Diddy has a good defense, and they're not really strong charges. It makes me feel like the government is playing the game, trying to see what Diddy is going to do. Like what's his response going to be to the current charges. And then after they kind of see him tip his hand, then they go, oh, okay, cool. We know what defense he's going with. He's going with the consent defense. Now let's bring all these other charges up, because once you're locked into a defense, you're locked into a defense. You can't say, oh, well, we said it was consent before, but now we're saying that he didn't do it at all. Once you're locked into he did it, but it was consensual defense. Now they bring new charges because they have all the wiretaps and all the other information. They don't have to present the evidence of charges that they're not filing, that they haven't filed yet. This is the games the government can play with you once you're in their hands. So new charges can come forward and they can say, oh yeah, what we charged Diddy with before, we presented all the evidence in discovery for that. But now we're bringing a superseding indictment and we're showing the new charges based on all the evidence that we have from his employees and everybody we have working with us for the last 10 years. And when you have a company that's making as much as Bad Boy has been making over the last couple decades, you got to assume that the feds are watching you. And I don't know if Diddy made that mistake of not assuming that or what's going on, but I could see that the government doing something like that. Like, we're going to start with the small charges and stuff that if we can get them on, great. But if we can't, it's not a big deal because we got a superseding indictment coming. Does that make sense to everybody? Drop a diamond or one in the chat. Diamond emoji in the chat if that makes sense to you. Makes sense to you. So now it's been reported that new charges may be coming in Diddy's trafficking case. Now, if you guys don't remember, we'll get back to this article in a second, and I'm gonna put you guys super chat comments on the screen in a second. We'll get back to it though. But if you guys remember, there was a bunch of reports going around. This is interesting. I'll show that in a second. About the people that were working around Diddy previously. Remember, there was this woman named Christina Khorram. I see all your diamonds in the chat. I see your ones in the chat and your diamonds in the chat. It was a woman that this article was going around a few months ago that she was called Diddy's manipulator in chief. And she was compared to Jeffrey Epstein's Ghislaine Maxwell. And I believe this is the prosecutor that was speaking on this. Let me see if it's an ad gonna play. If it's not, then I'll play this video. It looked like an ad. I'm not gonna play it. The article says, Sean Diddy Combs once called his Combs Enterprises chief of staff Christina Khorram his quote right hand, but a source involved in legal proceedings with the mogul believes she is more his manipulator in chief. Quote, if anybody is gatekeeper, Christina would know everything about Diddy. This is what the article says. It says high-ranking supervisors were flagged in 3-count federal indictments charging Combs with trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution after the 54-year-old hip-hop mogul was arrested by Homeland Security. So high-ranking supervisors were flagged. She was one of them. They were flagged in his federal indictment, which I have right here. And I went through this indictment. I have this indictment right here, and it's a sealed indictment. This is why you got to have lawyers in your network, because they can get you all the information you need. You got to have good lawyers and good paperwork teams and research teams. It's a sealed indictment, but I got all the paperwork. And in this paperwork, this woman is quote a high-ranking supervisor. She was flagged in this 3-count indictment, and it says, according to the indictment, Diddy Combs is alleged to have used, quote, certain employees, including the high-ranking supervisors, to carry out, facilitate, and cover up his abuse and commercial sex ring. So Diddy was so dim that he used his employees, and his employees was allegedly working with the feds the whole time. And it says the employees, none of the employees were named in the paperwork specifically, right? It just said high-ranking supervisors, and so she's one of them, allegedly. The supervisors facilitated sexual performances dubbed freak-offs, according to the indictment, and this includes the prostitutes and, quote, stocking the hotel rooms in advance with the required freak-off supplies, including the controlled substances, baby oil, lubricant, extra linens, and lighting. During the raids at Diddy's mansions, narcotics and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant were seized by federal agents. So even if nothing happens, they still got the narcotics that Diddy got to go do time for. So he's not going home, but he's trying to beat a life sentence right now. It says, quote, the feds have gotten evidence from a lot of sources, recordings, text messages, names, and texts from Christina Khorram, this woman right here. This woman right here. So that from her alone, they got recordings, text messages, names, and her cell phone, basically. And she was Diddy's right-hand woman. So when people say, well, why is Diddy the only one charged in the RICO? Well, if everybody else is co-defendants and the federal government made a case to the judge that they don't have to present the names of Diddy's co-defendants because they're afraid that Diddy will silence witnesses, and then they went and kind of proved that he's a threat to the community by making sure he can't get no bail, even after he had like 3 or 4 bail attempts, then now they don't have to name nobody until it's time. So maybe in the superseding indictment that's coming with the new charges on Diddy, you'll see this woman's name come out, or you'll see, like the lawyer said that I just showed you guys, her name come out in March. This is another picture of him and her together. I think they're just trying to establish in this article that they always was together. It said they reached out to her for a request for comment, and she didn't return any answer. Hit that like button if you guys in here now. Said Diddy had posted about her on Facebook saying, she's been my right hand for the last 8 years. This is from Diddy. This is a quote from Diddy. And has consistently proven to execute and get ish done. Don't know how I would function without her. In a separate lawsuit from the federal investigation, she was also described as Ghislaine Maxwell to Sean Combs. So not only is the federal indictment claiming this a separate lawsuit, she was named in that as well. It says a reference to the notorious offender. We know who Ghislaine Maxwell is. If you don't, Jeffrey Epstein, that was his right-hand woman, his wife, I believe. And she was accused of ordering prostitutes for Jeffrey Epstein. So they're comparing this woman to her, saying she was that for Diddy. It was alleged that she was required, or that she required Diddy's employees in the United States, at least, to and the employees include the butler, chef, and housekeepers, to carry a fanny pack with cocaine, GHB, ecstasy, marijuana gummies, and a pink drug called Tusi. It's a combination of ecstasy, cocaine, and cocaine. And that was Diddy's drug of choice at the time. So this is where Diddy messed up as well. Like, bro, if you got the butler, the chef, and the housekeepers, somebody gonna tell eventually. And that's where it's messed up for him. Because it's like, bro, any one of them people could have been wearing wires, let alone your top executives. Right? So it says Khorram allegedly, knowingly, and intentionally participated in, perpetrated, assisted, supported, and facilitated a trafficking venture. So she knew. The article goes on to say that she was instrumental, quote, instrumental in organizing and executing the RICO enterprise that Diddy claimed that it was claimed Diddy is running or had been running. Another employee, Stevie J, was also, we all know who Stevie J is, the producer, right? Stevie J from reality TV as well, says she was there to recruit workers, prostitutes, or Stevie J was there to recruit workers to the freak offs. So it says that she joined Bad Boy Entertainment in 2013 and went from a manager to director to office of the chairman. And so now they say she's deleted all her social media. She's deleted her LinkedIn profile. And they say, this is an article. This is what the quote says. It says Christina, which is this woman, might be cooperative. The source said, referring to the federal case against Diddy. Said, at least if she's smart, she will be. So you can assume off the bat that this woman is not built for jail. Diddy ain't really built for jail like that. But this woman right here, she ain't built for it. And it said at the end of the article that she's probably cooperating at this point. So she's been cooperating, in my opinion. I don't think you could do all this and not be cooperating, but you never know. But they say, she's cooperating likely now. So she's one of the people, the employees, former employees. But I mean, if you're out there and you got chefs and butlers and whoever else carrying around the drugs and distributing it through the party, people gonna snitch on you. And this is why, like the feds say, we haven't seen all the charges that Diddy is going to be facing yet. New charges may be coming in Diddy's trafficking case, right? We see the trafficking allegations, but Diddy got a whole nother thing with the drugs and all that stuff that he got to face. They found firearms in his house when they raided and all that. So he got a whole world of trouble. They just starting with one. I think they're starting with one indictment, and then they're going to bring other stuff in as a superseding. So it says sources told Fox that new testimonies are being heard and more charges and defendants could be added in coming weeks. According to attorney and former prosecutor Eric Faddis, the addition of a, quote, superseding indictment would expand the case's scope and add complexity. What the federal government, this is a quote, what the federal government sometimes does when they're continuing their investigation, they'll do a subsequent indictment, which is a superseding indictment. It usually amends and replaces the original indictment and adds additional charges. So additional charges are this former prosecutor is saying are likely going to be added. She said, quote, if there are charges that add a completely new dimension to this case, which I think is reasonably likely, that could cause both sides to need more time to do investigations, locate more witnesses, and procure additional evidence. Oh, it's a guy saying this. I'm sorry, I called him a she. It's a he. The case also involves civil suits with over 24 individuals alleging that they were drugged and assaulted. This week, a federal judge ruled that a woman, blah, blah, blah. That's part of the civil case. We want to talk more about the criminal today. Combs categorically denied all criminal and civil allegations to his attorneys, blah, blah, blah. So this prosecutor is saying, basically, this was a starter indictment, and another one could be coming and new charges could be filed on Diddy. Now, that was one employee that we kind of heard about and then didn't hear nothing about because it's gotten quiet, right? But another employee came forward and said that he alleged Wild King nights and had to clean up the evidence. Remember this employee right here that was putting this out against Diddy? So former Diddy Combs employee alleges this. The article says a former employee of Sean Diddy Combs alleged he set up sex parties for the Bad Boy Records founder and was responsible for the cleanup afterwards. His name is Philip Pines. And it says he alleged that he worked for Combs between 2019 and 2021. And he says the parties were called Wild King Nights. Pines is suing the rapper for battery and trafficking and intentional infliction of emotional distress. So he trying to get his money. He like, bro, I was a part of that, and I see everybody grabbing for the money, and let me grab for mine too. It said he claimed he was expected to be on call for the Wild King Nights, which lasted for days. On several occasions, Pines would receive a request to bring in extra baby oil, Astro Glide, marijuana, sex toys, Plan B, Cialis, or illegal drugs into the room. This is what he says. It says that he claims after their parties, he was tasked to remove the drug evidence, condoms, toys, and bodily stains, including urine, from the sheets and furniture. Urine too, bro? This is crazy. He also alleges that he was instructed to delete any incriminating videos from Combs' personal devices, including his laptops and phones, making sure no one spoke afterwards about the event, and provided large tips to the cleaning crews at the hotels to avoid house cleaning from reporting anything that would later be billed, because they didn't want it on the bill, because they didn't want the paper trail. Hit that like button if you're just watching, if you haven't hit it yet. It says Pines claims that he was Diddy's personal lackey, and Diddy treated him like an animal playing fetch in order to prove his loyalty, which we've seen Diddy do some crazy stuff to his employees. Like, yo, you proving your loyalty, playboy. You working yourself up, playboy. So this dude, maybe this dude is a part of that. He's saying that he's seen a lot too, and he's covered up for Diddy a lot. Like I said, it's a lot of witnesses and a lot of things going on. So he goes on in this complaint to say a lot more, but I want to get to this other employee that we heard about, but it was very quick and quiet. Like, we heard about this guy on the day that Diddy got arrested, or the day that they raided Diddy's houses. Remember, Diddy was like on the run, on the low. He jumped on his jet, left the kids at the house, and was gone. And everybody was like, Diddy flee in the country. And you remember they said that they arrested Diddy's drug mule at the airport. And then we never heard nothing about this guy afterwards, right? So it came out that this dude, Brendan Paul, this guy right here, let me get this article off the screen real quick. I should have did read only. This guy right here, Brendan Paul, who was alleged to be Diddy's former drug mule, it was alleged that he was, pretty much running and transporting a wide array of drugs for Diddy. So this dude was 25 years old. The article says the drugs that he was transporting for Diddy were GHB, which is a common date rape drug. And it said that he was arrested at Miami Airport for transporting the cocaine and marijuana candy. So they caught him with drugs, right? And he went to the airport as soon as Diddy's houses started getting raided, and they was already following him. So they caught him at the airport trying to get on a plane with all this stuff. And he was getting on a private jet too. Does this guy look like a guy that can afford a private jet to y'all? Maybe he can, maybe he can't. I don't know. But that's what it was alleged. They said that they caught him on the runway, basically. And it said that his case was amended after he got arrested and all that stuff. His case was amended to only include felony cocaine possession. Now, you guys tell me, common sense. We all got common sense, right? If I go to the airport and I got all these drugs and I'm trying to get on a plane, and am I going to be able to get out and they say, we're going to drop a couple of them charges for you, and we're going to only arrest you for possession? Or are they going to say that's a federal crime? You were trying to transport drugs across state lines. We're going to get you for drug trafficking. Just common sense. You know what I'm saying? So it said that those charges were dropped, and he was only charged with felony cocaine possession. To me, from being from the street, that sounds crazy to me. Let's keep going on this article. It said that his lawyer, Brian Bieber, said that his client, Brendan Paul, successfully completed a pretrial diversion course, sometimes offered for first-time offenders. Bro, your first-time offense is transporting drugs in the airport. Like, I don't want to hear that. So they went on to say, after all that, hold on. It's a part in this article where they say how his charges got completely dropped. Where did it go? Here it is. It says, maybe it was a little bit before that, but it says the dismissal of Paul's case comes as Combs' own legal situation appears increasingly apocalyptic. We know Diddy's facing a lot. Where did it go? Hold on. It was in the other article, probably. His case has been dropped. Let me see if it was in this one. I got you guys. Give me a second. I think I clicked out of the article that it was in. His charges have been dropped. And that led everybody to believe that he's about to testify as well. Let me try to find it real quick. Give me a second, guys. Here it goes. Here it goes. Drug charges are dropped against Sean Combs' associate in Florida. So it says the charges against Brendan Paul, a former Syracuse University basketball player who was arrested amid raids on Mr. Combs' homes, were dropped after he completed a diversion program. So after he completed a program, after he got caught transporting drugs in the airport, you completed a diversion program and all your charges was dropped. That sounds like, bro, you about to tell. You involved. So all your charges get dropped, bro. I just know how it works. It don't work like that unless you give them something that they feel like is more valuable than you. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. That's crazy to me. So all in all, according to everything that's going on, Diddy looked like he got a long uphill battle. I thought this was an interesting article that I came across about this Diddy situation too. We're going to get into community hour in a second. I just thought this was funny. P. Diddy banned Prince Harry and Prince William from his wild parties after they kept rejecting them. Sean Diddy Combs was desperate for Prince Harry and Prince William to attend his famous parties or infamous parties until the royals continued to reject his invitations. Combs' former representative alleged the 55-year-old rapper offered to pay Prince Harry and William's expenses if they attended his wild bashes. However, they reportedly turned down all his invitations. Wise move by them. And I'm assuming that they got a different level of access. So somebody must have told them, hey, stay away from that Diddy dude. They investigating him. He under investigation right now. Stay away from that guy. So they reportedly turned down his invitations to the parties like 10 times. But he kept asking. So Diddy spoke on this, I guess, in a previous interview that he did. And he said, he asked him, he was like, I was like, why don't you come hang out with me? Then the host asked Diddy if he still wanted to have Harry and William as his guests. And Diddy said, trust me, they are off the list. The Bad Boy Record founder, former representative, also opened up about his dreams of having the royal princes at his party. Diddy was obsessed, quote, this is Diddy's former representative, said Diddy was obsessed with Prince Harry and Prince William. And he thinks of himself as a king. So it makes perfect sense that he would want to have two princes in his entourage. Harry and William never accepted Diddy's party invites. They were never part of his world. But he made more than 10 attempts to convince the princes to attend his gatherings. So it's also been alleged that Diddy was keen to meet with Queen Elizabeth before her death. According to a journalist who previously spoke with Diddy in an interview, he was surprised he had never met the Queen as he had reached superstar status. In fact, she alleged in a piece he was desperate to meet the monarch. The Queen of England, I don't know why they never met. Or he said, Diddy said, I don't know why I've never met her. She's never invited me to the palace, not yet anyway. So Diddy was trying to get in front of the Queen as well. That's one of them Illuminati things, I believe. Like, bro, you trying to up your Illuminati rank. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had to go. You seen how Lucian Grange went and got knighted by the by royalty. So maybe Diddy was in that situation where he was like, bro, I'm trying to get some of that. I'm trying to get some of that Illuminati power. And they was like, bro, you still a black Illuminati. You ain't one of them. You doing too much. You know what I'm saying? Wendy Williams spoke on Diddy too recently. And she did a rare interview, which she going through a lot with her health right now. So I thought it was interesting to see what she had to say. But Wendy has been around hip hop for a long time too. For better or worse, you know, she's been around. So it says Wendy Williams discussed the matter Diddy during a rare interview. According to her, things do not look good for Diddy, as she alleges she knows a lot about him that the public does not know. She said it's about time that he faces consequences for his alleged wrongdoing, even if the consequences are as severe as she predicts. She said, when I watch TMZ and I see the stuff that goes on, I'm like, oh my gosh. And then all of a sudden I see me on TMZ. You know what I'm saying? It's really weird seeing me on TV when I'm caught in this position. She said, as far as Diddy will go to prison for life, people. You don't know the things that I do about Diddy from back in the day. What she say? And you want to know what? Oh, she's saying, you want to know what? It's about time. It's about time. Diddy is done. This is what Wendy Williams said. And she's been around a long time. Like we make jokes and people clown Wendy Williams because of 50 Cent mainly got people clowning Wendy Williams. But a lot of people like don't understand Wendy Williams been around hip hop a long time, bro. And she been saying this stuff about Diddy. She, back in the day, she said she called it. And she said, what is really weird is that I've been told by so many people, Wendy, you've called it. She explained to the outlet at the time. She said, including some people from my family who have said the same. You know how I feel about that? It's about time, she said. So she's been saying Diddy going to jail for a long time. People in the industry, I thought it was interesting that nobody in the industry really came and said that Diddy was 100% innocent. He would never do nothing like this. Like, that's the crazy thing. Nobody was like, yo, Diddy innocent. He wouldn't do that. Everybody was like, well, Diddy. So that's the information I had to present on for you guys on the Diddy topic. Let's get into the entrepreneur hour. Let's get into entrepreneur hour, community hour. I'm going to read you guys' comments on this topic, and we're going to see what you guys have to say about this. And then if you got questions as an entrepreneur, you guys know what to do. Time to start asking them. Let's go through these real quick. Let's go through the super chats on this. Said no evidence of minors, grape, spiked baby oil. Feds have nothing but baby oil and 9 tapes from Cassie. I don't think so. They said that when they raided his house, they got all these drugs and guns. That's something. And then they got a bunch of people that's willing to testify. That's not nothing. That's what they're presenting. They haven't presented nothing yet except that. But they don't have to present everything yet. If they only have to present based on what they're charging him with currently. If they're going to do a superseding indictment and they're going to charge him with more charges, they only got to present right now what they got to present for these charges. Said the feds have no superseding, barely got evidence now. Bro, I don't think you understand. Like, the federal government is a business. It's a business. They're not going to invest all this money and have nothing. They're not wasting their time. They've been investigating this man for 12 years. They're not going to waste their time. Do I believe everybody coming out? Heck no. I think everybody there's a lot of people taking the opportunity. There's opportunists out there. They're going to take the opportunity to sue. But we're not talking about the lawsuit part. We're talking about the criminal investigation. And do I think that the federal government is going to waste their time with a celebrity with a name like this and not have something real to present that they really feel like we can win? Because they said we could go to court next week. So you gotta, I don't know, man. The feds is a government business. It's not just an organization. Like, they're a business. They got people on overtime. They're paying salaries to put this guy in jail. They're not going to waste their money or their time. Plus, they got a high conviction rate. This dude ain't John Gotti. I don't think he was even prepared. He tried to run in the beginning because he knew, like, it's coming. So, said Diddy should take the 20 years. Yeah, in the chat, it's looked like it's right down the middle. Like, he should take it to trial. 40% say take it to trial. 20% or 60% say take 20 years and be done with it. The risk you run when you don't go to trial, or the risk you run when you do go to trial, is getting maxed out. So that's the tough part. That's the tough part. Said feds have been watching Diddy since the days of Haitian Jack. Facts. The superseding indictment is going to be insane. I agree. I think that when they come with the next indictment, it's going to go crazy. All right, man. Let's get into community hour. If you're a subscriber in the community, you guys already know we do this every single live stream. We always do an entrepreneur hour. If you don't know, I'm a very successful entrepreneur, man. I've been doing really good for myself. So I always come and I try to give you guys value at the end of the live streams where we have entrepreneur questions. If you have a question about business, we answer it right here on the live stream. Drop your diamonds in the chat if you guys ready for it. Diamonds in the chat if you guys ready for the entrepreneur and community hour. I know the TikTok ban just happened, and I know they unbanned it. I wanted to talk to you guys about that from a business perspective. And if you guys are new to the community, Let us know where you're from and put your city and your name in the chat and drop your diamonds in the chat. We about to get it cracking, man. I seen the TikTok ban thing, and I was reading how they have like 7 million businesses on TikTok. And I thought that was really interesting. 7 million businesses on TikTok. And I want to see, there was a lot of information about that. But I seen a lot of the employers out there, like regular jobs and not the entrepreneurs necessarily, but the employers was like, good, get back to reality. And then Trump pretty much reinstated it for 75 more days. Or 90 days. It said it's going to be between 75 and 90 days for an extension for them to sell. I thought the biggest learning lesson from that was everybody needs to have a business, man. Everybody needs to have a real business. Like, if you're an entrepreneur and you generating a lot of money, which let me put our stuff on the screen. If you on TikTok or whatever and you generating a lot of money, you need to be investing in other platforms, number one, because you don't ever want to have one platform taken and you're not able to make money. But also, you want to make sure that you are building a real business in real life, because just like that, it can be taken. It can be taken, man. Said Long Beach, CA, for you TikTokers, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Facts. Yeah, man. A lot of people was putting their eggs in one basket. And if it hadn't been for, the funny thing is with Trump is, he's the one that brought attention that TikTok was the China thing, and he was going crazy on that. And then now he's the one saving it. I thought that was kind of funny. Somebody in the chat said, if I was Diddy's lawyer, I could have got him out easily. But you know what the problem is? A lot of people with the TikTok ban, they don't know what business to start. They're creators, just like a lot of people are. And it's typically because people don't know how to run a business. And I teach entrepreneurs every single day. If you guys follow me on social media, you know I've been a millionaire for a few years, and you know that I've been making six figures for almost a decade now. I'm getting close to it. But I've been a millionaire the last 3 or 4 years, last 2 or 3 years, going on my 4th year. And I've been coaching entrepreneurs and teaching them. And so with my clients, what I've been teaching them since this TikTok ban stuff has been coming out is how to start a business around their purpose. Like, a lot of people go and they become creators because they don't know how to identify what business they should start, because they don't know who they are necessarily in business. Like, they don't know what their purpose or what their business is. And so I teach 4 ways that you can start your business, or these are 4 principles that you have to apply to find the business to start. And we do this in our entrepreneur group, in our entrepreneur community on ulegend.com, ulgnd.com. You guys see it right here. Also, to that point, thank you guys, everybody that's signing up on the entrepreneur group. We got over 1,000 signups in 2 days, man. And I hope that you guys are getting the value. And then we're going to be doing a masterclass. This is how you find the business you want to start. If you're out here and you're trying to make money and you're trying to become successful and you don't have no money, this is what you do. And I keep teaching this. I want you guys to really grasp this. I don't want to move on until I'm sure that you guys got this, because this is where it starts. There's 4 things you have to do. 1, you got to find the thing that you like to do, the thing that you've always liked to do naturally, right? If you like to do it, then you'll do it long enough to be successful. You got to actually enjoy the business that you start. This is how you find your purpose or find the business that you want to start. The first thing is, what do you like to do? Identify that. Do you like music? Do you like playing an instrument? Do you like working with puppies? Do you, whatever that thing is, like something that you genuinely love to do, that you would do for free if you could, if you didn't have to pay bills. That's the first thing. Second thing, what are you good at? See, a lot of times we like things that we're not actually good at, or we're good at things that we don't like to do. Like, some people are really good at basketball, but they don't like to play basketball. Some people are good at whatever, but they don't really want to do that. They don't like doing it. So you got to be very careful. Pick the thing that you like to do and the thing that you're also good at. And I'm not talking about the thing that you practice to be good at. This is not something that you train to be good at, or that you found out that you were good at after 20 years of living. I'm talking about when you were a child, you were good at this. For Will Evans, for me, right? The company that I started is an entrepreneur empowerment company, and it's a faith-based company, right? Because I believe strongly that the Bible gives us all the principles that we need to be successful in life. And I can go into that in a second. So the thing I like to do since I was a little boy, I love business. Nobody had to teach me how to be an entrepreneur. Nobody had to say, hey, you're an entrepreneur. I didn't even know what an entrepreneur was. I was in the 2nd grade. I used to steal my grandma's cassette tapes, and I used to record the radio on the recordable cassette tapes. And then I would take them to school and sell them for $3. And it would just be the radio playing from the IE. So it would be 99 1K GGI and the whole radio. And I'm selling them to my classmates for $3 that had lunch money. So I was an entrepreneur from the time I was a baby. I just didn't know it. That's the thing that I like to do. I like business all my life, naturally. The thing that I'm good at is communicating. I'm a great speaker. I have no problem with public speaking. I've never been shy in front of crowds. I've always been great at this. Those are the first 2 things. There's 4 of them, right? This is how you find your purpose. This is how you find the business that you're supposed to start. Because if you're going through this TikTok ban situation, look, a lot of people got left out in the cold. If you pay your bills off of TikTok or social media, you got left out in the cold. So these are the first 2 things you got to understand, right? What I like to do, what I'm good at. So Will Evans, I like business. I'm good at communicating. I'm good at speaking. Maybe I should start a business communicating with people about business, teaching. So I'm an entrepreneur coach. I teach people about business, and I coach executives as well. So I teach people about business, and I teach them things that they cannot learn on Google or learn in colleges. I'm not like a college that, take you 4 years to learn a bunch of useless information that when you get out, they don't even want to take your degree at the job. Like your college degree is completely worthless when you try to go get the job. We teach people things that they can apply right now today. And I teach them how to do that, and I expedite the process. Actually, I'm doing a social experiment soon where I'm going to take a homeless person off the street and make them successful in a small amount of time. Because I'm that good at what I do. Now I'm going to show you guys that later on, but you guys are going to see that coming up. What you like, what you're good at. The third thing is, how can I serve the most people doing this? A lot of people miss this part as entrepreneurs, as people that want to make money or people want to start a business. You want to start a business based on what you enjoy and what you're good at, but you're not thinking about nobody else. If you can't think about other people else, you're never going to have a successful business. You're never going to be a successful employee. You're never going to be a successful anything. If you don't figure out how to start serving other people, if you're not thinking about other people's problems more than you're thinking about your own, you're really not going to be able to have a successful anything. Even if you're an employee, when I hire my employees, I always want to hire the employees that are here to solve the problems of the company. That's the whole point that I'm hiring you, because the business is based on solving other people's problems. Every business is based on solving a problem that somebody had. So even if you're in the entrepreneur phase or in the employee phase of being an entrepreneur, where you're saving your money from your job to invest into your business, you got to understand the principles so you can apply it. Serving people. You have to serve people, and you have to serve a large amount of people, right? The thing you like, the thing you're good at, how can I serve the most people doing that? Maybe I'll do live streams where we'll talk about entertainment, and then we'll talk about entrepreneur stuff. That's Will Evans. I'm good at business, I'm good at communicating. I like business, and I've always liked business, and I serve the most people teaching people about business online and in my entrepreneur networking group. I connect business owners together, right? Drop a diamond if you learned it so far in the chat. That's the third thing. The fourth thing, well, let me not move on from that third thing. Real quick on the third thing. A lot of people think serving people is, if I serve one person, I'm doing a good job. You got to serve a lot of people if you want to make a lot of money. Doctors are operating, the specialists, brain surgeon, heart surgeon, whatever, they're operating on what, maybe 50 to 100 people a year. So they may make a lot less money than a guy like me. You're making $250,000 a year, $300,000 a year. You're not making what Will Evans is making because you don't serve as many people as Will Evans, even though you're doing a higher value skill to society. Like being able to do open heart surgery requires a lot more skill. A lot of people would argue, at least, than it does to successfully build, run, operate, and scale a business. But because you're only serving a limited amount of people, because you're only one person, you can't make the money that somebody that, like me, or taking me out of it, somebody that like an entertainer, a rapper that's making a bunch of money because he's performing in front of millions of people on tour. He makes a lot more money than a teacher or a police officer or a doctor. because he's serving a higher amount of people, right? So in your business, I have a landscaper that's in my network that I mentor. And for the landscaper that I mentor, and you guys start asking your entrepreneur questions in the chat, and I'm gonna start getting to them. We got one more thing out of these 4 things. For the landscaper that I mentor, I taught him, hey, you have a business that is service-based that you have to be there for. The best thing that you could do to scale your business currently the way it is hire more people to be at more houses fixing their yards, right? And I can answer any question about any business that you guys have because I'm really good at what I do by the grace of God. I told him the only way to scale your business is to hire more employees. But then you still only can scale it so much. So what type of business do you want to have? Do you want to be the type of guy that earns, $75,000 a year? Do you want to be the guy that earns 150, 200,000? Or do you want to be the guy that earns 2 or 3 million? It's up to you. I don't care what your goal is. Your goal is your goal because happiness and success is different for everybody. When I wasn't making money, when I earned my first $100,000 in a year, I was like, I'm successful. Then I started having different aspirations and wanting more information. Success is different for everybody. So it's not about everybody got to be a millionaire. So I asked him, what do you want? I want to scale this to millions. Okay. To scale it to millions, you're going to have to figure out how to sell and serve to more people, but mainly serve more people, which means what? I got to solve more people's problems, right? So if you have a service-based business, you only could solve one. For him, his landscaping, I was teaching him, you only could do one house at a time. His best bet, and this is what I told him, is you have to teach exactly how you're an expert, which sounds counterintuitive. It sounds counterintuitive. If I teach everybody how I'm the expert, then everybody know my secret sauce, and then my competitors steal my business model. That's not the case though, right? And this is why. Because if you're online as a landscaper and you're teaching, and you guys can apply this to your businesses. If you're online as a landscaper and you're teaching everybody how to be the perfect landscaper, as a customer, you guys know from the customer perspective, people that don't have landscaping companies or that don't run businesses, from a customer perspective, you go, dang, this guy is an expert. You're looking at the phone like, man, this guy's an expert. I want to hire him to do my yard. Nobody out there is saying he's an expert. I'm going to do it myself. Why? Because the spiritual resource of money is something that we trade time for. I trade my time to make money. Why is time why is money and time a spiritual resource? Money is the physical form of the spiritual resource of time. When somebody hands you a $100 bill, you can say they had to spend their time to make this. So it's a physical representation of the spiritual resource of their time, right? So when somebody hands you their time, they want you to save them time. They either want good energy or time back. It's always a transaction like that, right? But stay with me, you guys. So people don't care about you giving them the secret sauce. They still rather give up their money for you to save them time, because time is more valuable than the money that they're going to give you. The money that I'm giving you is more valuable or is less valuable than the time that I would spend doing my yard for myself if I have a landscaping company. So in his mind, if I teach people how I'm doing my landscaping, then everybody's going to know how I do my job, and then my competitor is going to be able to do the same thing. But in reality, when you lose that and just have a service-based mindset, which I'm just here to solve my customers' problems, and if I could teach 1 million people to do it for themselves, I will make more money. This is how it works, because the customer is going to say, you're the expert, I want to hire you. And they're not going to go to the competition that's just saying they know how to do it. In the book, 22 Laws of Mutable Marketing, it says that it is better to show somebody once than to tell them 1,000 times. So I could tell you all day long, I'm the best landscaper to ever do it. But until you see me do it on your phone perfectly the way you would want it done, you're not going to feel like I'm an expert, because it's better to show somebody once than it is to tell them 1,000 times. Write that down in your notebook. So show somebody once how great you are. Don't worry about and serve them that way. And then you're serving more people. You have the ability to serve millions of people on the internet when you post that type of content. And then you make more money than the guy that's doing 1 yard at a time. Make sense? Let's see what you guys got in the chat. So the fourth thing So the first thing is, I know I went long on that. The first thing is, what do I like to do naturally? What have I always liked to do? Right? The thing I would do for free. Second thing, what am I good at? This is how you find the purpose and find out what business you should be starting and what you need to do for you. If you part of the TikTok crowd that got banned, or if you're just trying to find your purpose in life, or if you're just trying to find the purpose of a business that you should start, this is the formula you're going to use. What do I like to do? What am I good at? Two separate things. I'm not always good at what I like to do. I don't always like to do what I'm good at. So those are two separate things. What I like to do, what I'm good at. How can I serve a large amount of people doing those two things? And the third and the fourth thing is, how can I serve God doing those other three things? So I'll give you a practical example. Will Evans, my company is ULegend Media, ulgnd.com. You guys can click the website and check it out. Join our entrepreneur group, right? I serve people by providing them resources that they cannot learn on Google about business. Something I just taught you guys right now. You can't learn on Google. You can't find somebody. Nobody's going to teach you that about being an entrepreneur. You can't go in a classroom and sit and pay $40,000 for a college degree and they teach that. You can't go to a pyramid scheme and they teach you that. They're going to just talk your emotions up. You know what I mean? Like you're broke and you don't want to be broke, right? So don't be broke. All you got to do is start. You want to be on a yacht? You want to be? I'm not going to ever do that with you guys. I'm going to tell you guys the truth. These are the real things that you can apply, right? What I like, what I'm good at. How do I serve a large amount of people doing that? How do I serve God doing that? So Will Evans, I like business. I'm great at communicating. I'm naturally good at communicating. I serve a lot of people by on the thousands of people. I think it's 10,000 people that have watched this live stream, and it's usually 30, 40,000 a day, 50,000 a day, whatever that watch me. I teach those people about business. I teach a lot of people about business every single month, millions of people about business every single month. What do we do? 2 million people a month. I teach about business. And then in my entrepreneur group, we have over 1,000 people that signed up. We just launched it last week or over the last 2 days, 3 days. And we've had over 1,000 signups already. And we're helping entrepreneurs everywhere, worldwide, literally worldwide. I serve a lot of people by doing that. That's my third thing. I like the business. I'm good at communicating. I serve a lot of people, communicating and teaching business through the internet, right? And then my fourth thing is I serve God because I give you guys biblical principles, things that come from, because the Bible talks about business more than it talks about anything else. So my ministry is also my business at that point, because I teach you guys. A wise man leaves an inheritance for his children's children, but the wicked's wealth is stored up for the righteous. I teach you guys that Deuteronomy 8 and 17, chapter 8, verse 17, and verse 18 as well, where it says, you may say to yourself, the power of my own hands has created this wealth for me. But remember the Lord your God, for it's he who gives you the power to generate wealth. And that whole chapter explains how to be an entrepreneur. If you break it down, I teach you guys that in the beginning, God created. That's the first thing the Bible says. So in order to be a successful business person, you have to create. You have to be a creator, because that's the way that God created everything. So if you want to create your business and you want to be successful, you got to be creative, because you're designed to be a creator. I teach you guys that God created creation first, then creatures. Creation, the planets, the moon, the heavens, the stars. Then he created creatures, animals, plants, rats, roaches, bugs. And then he created creators. And every other thing that God created, it said, let the earth bring forth this and let the waters bring forth that. But then he said, let us make man in our own image. So you have the ability to create the way God created. That's why humans can do things and innovate. And horses and rats can only do what they've been doing since the beginning of being a horse and a rat. But a human can change his reality. Right? I teach you guys those things and how that applies to business. Or I teach you how to become the person, because you're a human being. You have to be the person that can have success before you can do the thing that makes you successful and then have. Because God told us from the beginning, be, do, and have. What does that mean? Be fruitful and multiply. Then go do. And he said, be fruitful and multiply. Then he said, go out into the world. And before he even told us to have dominion, right? He told us to subdue the earth and then have dominion. Right? So you got to be first before you do the work, and then have the thing after. God will give you dominion after you subdue the earth and after you be fruitful. And you got to, it's parallels all through the Bible. And I can show you guys how Jesus talks about the parable of the camel in the eye of the needle, right? It's easier to get a camel through the eye of the needle than it is to for a rich man to inherit the kingdom of God. And then the disciples go and say, well, who can be rich then? Or who can get in the kingdom of God then? Because they weren't poor. And then Jesus says, with man, it's impossible. With God, all things are possible. So you need God, even if you're rich, you need God to be truly rich, right? To inherit the kingdom. I teach you guys all that stuff. So those are things you can't learn in the classroom because they don't allow it. Those are things you can't learn on Google. And it's millions of things. Even when I come here and give free game, it's because I have so much information. I can teach you guys anything about any business. Let me show you guys some examples real quick. Let me see what you guys' questions are. And I'm going to prove it to you guys right now. Said, should I not share step by step what I do? You should share if you know something well enough. So you're asking me, I'm assuming, if you want to teach people how to do what you do, should you share step by step? You should share whatever you feel like you have comfortable information on that you're not going to be hurting your business. So for me, is I could teach you guys about business, share a lot of information, and it doesn't hurt me because I have a lot of information, man. Like this is 1% of what I know. You got to share with the people what you're comfortable with. And if you're not comfortable with sharing a lot, then that means you don't know your field or your expertise enough. Because if you know it a lot, if you know it really in depth, then you should be able to share a lot of information. And people should feel like I learned a lot just listening to that one thing. Also, I don't know if you guys saw that, but I'm on I'm a nominee for a 2025 Forbes list. So you guys go on the description of this video and vote for me. Vote for me if you're learning anything. Drop a diamond if you learn anything. Drop a diamond if you learn anything. Said I want to start a tattoo business. Start it. You should. If you're gifted at art and you want to start a tattoo business, start showing people how to tattoo. I promise you're gonna make money. This is how you do a tattoo. This is how you do this type of tattoo. This is how you shade. This is how you do color tattoos. This is how you do that. Do that. I promise you start earning money. Serve a lot of people. Tattoo businesses are remember when tattoo shows was coming? Well, if we put it on a TV show, which means it makes more money. If you guys ain't part of my entrepreneur networking group, you got to get a part of it, guys. And I'm doing, I just did a sale for everybody because you guys voted for me on the Forbes list. I'm really grateful for you guys. I did a sale for the next masterclass. Our next masterclass, we dropped the price 150%. So normally I charge $200 for masterclasses. We charge $50. Everybody go join the masterclass if you want to be a part of our next group. And we do a Q&A there as well, where I can get more in depth on your personal thing. And I do it in a smaller community. So go get your seat because we're doing limited seats over there. Go over there. It's $50 for the masterclass. It's on ulegend.com. And you guys could get your seat right now. It's virtual. You can do it from home. And we'll be able to help you out as much as possible. I'll be able to do some one-on-ones with you guys and talk to you guys about that. Let me see what you guys got to say. Let me just say you are teaching. That's love. Yeah, man. If somebody is only entertaining you and not teaching you, then you need to stop following that person. If you don't want to follow a person that can't teach you nothing. Like so many entertainers out here, they don't tell y'all the way behind the scenes. This is what's really going on. It's because they don't really know. Somebody's handling them or controlling them. Nobody controlled me though. I became a millionaire by my bootstraps. I didn't have no rich family members. I'm the richest person in my family. I was in the street before I gave my life to God, shot multiple times. I got shot 4 times. I've been to jail. I'm a 2-strike felon. I lived that life. By the grace of God, I was able to survive and be able to come and teach you guys these different things now, let alone have success and make it from where I made it from. So these people don't have information. So they resort to entertaining you guys because they can't teach you nothing. Because they don't really know. All they know is how to be entertaining and really act like a monkey on camera, act like a clown on camera. And then even like some of these businesses that I hate are pyramid schemes because it's like you don't teach these people nothing. You just play on their emotions. You don't teach them nothing though. You just try to make them emotional so they buy. I try to give you guys information. You don't have to buy. I don't want you guys to buy if you don't want to be here. I want a group of people around me. And that's why I started the You Legend Millionaires entrepreneur group, because here it is right here. Check this out. This is why my website, we got the entrepreneur group and we got 1,000 signups in 2 days. That's crazy to me. I'm grateful for that because I want to put people that are like-minded together, and you can sign up for free. Say, hey, Will, can you give people advice on finding their purpose, identify exactly what it is, what that is, and give strength to stick with it? Yeah, that's so if you missed it, the 4 things. You got to figure out what you like to do. You got to figure out what you're naturally good at. The like to do is things you do for free, what you're naturally good at. The 3rd thing is, how can I serve a lot of people doing this? And then the 4th thing is, how do I serve God doing this? Jesus only gave us 2 things to do: serve other people, love other people with all your heart, right? And then serve God, love God with all your heart. He says, serve other people as if you're working for the Lord himself. That's what the scripture says. So that's what I teach. You got to serve other people. A lot of people don't find their purpose because they're trying to find it internally. I was speaking to a homeless guy in front of my office. God, by the grace of God, I just got a huge office building for my staff. And all my staff got 401k this month. So I'm really grateful. On top of the Forbes list thing, I've been having a great month. I taught this guy in front of my office. He was like, people walk by me every day, Will, and they pass me. And I talk to this homeless dude when I go to my office, just trying to encourage him. He like, I see them with nice cars. I see them with nice clothes. And like, I just want to know, how do I get my piece of that? And I told him, how many people do you help a day? And he go, A lot of us walk through life, we not helping nobody. And you think that somebody should just do for you, and you can't live like that. If you want to find your purpose, you will find your purpose in how you affect other people's lives more than you will find your purpose in how you affect your own. You got to figure out the thing that you like to do naturally, the thing that you're good at, that you've always been good at. How can you use those 2 things to serve a lot of people? And then you got to figure out, how can I serve God in all that as well? So Will Evans has a faith-based, my company is a faith-based company where I teach entrepreneurs about business, and I teach people about business. And I also coach executives to be better executives. I teach you how to start a business, scale a business, go from 0 to 50,000, 50,000 to 100,000, 100,000 to 300, 300 to a million, make millions, because I've been a millionaire and I know I have the access now. So I know the information. And I teach you guys the same things that I've learned that took me 9 years to learn. I teach you guys how to do it in 2 months, 3 months. And if you guys join the masterclass, we'll be giving a lesson on that as well. So that's how you find your purpose. That's how you find your purpose. You got to figure out those 4 things. And then the strength to stick with it comes only from God. You just gotta find those things. Said, congratulations, my brother from another mother. Amen. I'm a new fan. Keep up the truth. Man, God bless you, bro. Appreciate you being here. And I'm grateful that you're here, brother. Appreciate that. God bless you. So I will be the first in my family. You give us hope, bro. Man, listen, I was the first in my family. I'm the richest person in my family. When we come from where we come from, you don't have a lot of, nobody ever teaches us these things. You gotta go get a coach. Honestly, look, I was coached by some of the, I didn't realize how important coaching was until I was already a millionaire. Unfortunately, I would have expedited. I could have did this a long time ago, but I didn't listen. You know what I mean? I was hard-headed. A lot of people are unsuccessful for 1 or 3 reasons. They either 1, don't know how to do it. 2, they're too lazy to do it. Or 3, which is the biggest reason, they're too arrogant to do it. You think that you're going to listen long enough to do it. And you might, but you would do it faster if you just got a coach, somebody that can expedite. When I'm with my clients, they love me because, 1, I'm actually giving them real information. I'm not bringing you into bringing you on as a client to the company and telling you stuff that you could find on Google. This is how you start an LLC. This is how you start a S corp. This is how you get a business bank account. Bro, that's BS information. I'm not wasting my time nor yours doing that. Google it. I'm going to teach you how to actually be successful. This is what you need to be doing. And you're not going to be able to Google this. And you can't take a college course for this because they don't tell you in college. Because if they told everybody in college how to be successful, everybody would be so successful that successful people wouldn't actually be successful. So they're not going to tell you this stuff in college. Join the You Legend Millionaires entrepreneur group that at the website that you see scrolling on the bottom of the screen, you guys. or go into the description of this video and check it out. Check out the other stuff. Connect with me on LinkedIn. If you guys ain't on LinkedIn, connect me. I just made a profile over there. Said that's why I stopped buying ebooks. Yeah, I don't believe in all that. And I'm an author. I have a book. I don't have it available right now, somewhere around here. I'm an author and I do have a book. But I price my book high because I want the people, when somebody runs up with me holding my book, I want to know what type of person I'm dealing with. I don't believe in all that free ebook and all that because that's nonsense. No information that's worth anything is going to be in a free ebook. To me, that's just my opinion. You got to get somebody that actually knows what the hell they're doing. And a lot of people don't. Bro said, same, shot and in jail, still trying to find my place because I'm scattered with things I like doing. Okay, so this is a great thing. I can help you with this right now. You scattered with things. You've been through what I've been through. You've been shot. You've been to jail. You coming out of that. You're trying to change your life. God bless you, bro. By the grace of God, I pray that you do change your life and that you can figure this out. But I'm going to help you with that scattered with things thing. There's something called focus intensity and there's something called dispersed intensity. When you're an entrepreneur or when you're in a state of survival, you're scattered like you say you are because you're trying to figure out everything. I'm trying to, and to a degree, it could be a good thing in the beginning stages because a lot of people, a question I get from my mentees when I mentor people is, well, what if I don't know what I like to do? Or what if I don't know what I'm good at? Well, because I say you got to find the good thing you're good at, the thing you like to do, the thing that you serve most people doing, and the thing that you serve God doing as well to make it a real purpose, right? Well, what if I don't like to, or what if I don't know what I like to do, Will? Then that means you haven't tried enough things to know what you like to do. What if I don't know what I'm good at? Well, that means you haven't tried enough things or thought long enough about what you're actually good at. Because everybody's born with a gift and everybody has things that they like to do. If you don't have that, you haven't found it. So in the beginning, it's okay to be scattered if that's what the stage that you're at. Now, if you're past that stage and you know what you like to do and you know what you're good at, then, and you're still scattered and you feel like I'm trying to do everything to start a business because there's a difference between a business and a hustle. Some people be at hustle stage. You at hustle stage where you're just trying to make money. Then you get to entrepreneur stage where you're starting to like legitimize the money you're making and be an entrepreneur with it. Then you get to business owner stage where you're creating a system that other entrepreneurs are within your system. You know what I'm saying? So there's other stages and that would be like the hiring employees. So what you're going through is what I call dispersed intensity. You have intensity and you're serious about trying to be successful, but it's all over the place. I have a guy that I mentor that he has clothing line, or he had prior to me getting with him, clothing line. He had like he was selling Frenchies. He had all these like different small hustles. And I said, and once I honed in with him on these 4 things, it's like, okay, this is what you actually want to be doing, bro. Do that and put everything into that. There's something that I teach that I usually charge people for, which is called Price's Law, which is a square root law, meaning that if you have 10 employees, or let's say you have 9 employees, 3 of them employees are making 50% of the money for the whole company. 3 people out of the 9, the square root of 9 is 3. 3 people are doing actually most of the work. And then the other 6 people are doing the other 50% of the work. So you got 6 people earning half and 6 people, and dispersed intensity is very similar. And I could go deeper on that, but I don't want to overwhelm you guys with information. But you got to have focus intensity, not dispersed intensity. You got to find the thing, use the formula I just gave you, the 4 things that I just taught you guys, and find that one thing that you can focus your intensity on and do that for a period of time. And I promise you'll see that thing grow. If you're scattered right now, it's only because you're in survival mode. You got to be disciplined enough to quiet your mind and say, I'm focusing on this and nothing else. And I'm sorry that everything else suffers, but this is what I'm focusing on, and be comfortable with that. Said Jesus was a servant, and if we are supposed to emulate him, then we are to be servants as well. Amen. Every business, the Bible says, Jesus said, the Son of Man did not come to serve or to be served, but to serve. If you're not serving people, then you're not going to have a successful business. Every business solves a problem that everybody has, or that a group of people have. And you can't name me one business that doesn't. So if your business or what you're doing is not solving a problem, then you're not going to make nobody wants to pay you money. Like I said earlier, money is a spiritual resource. I take my time to earn money. Time I can never replace or get back. And you know that time is more valuable than money. You know how you know? Because if I told anybody watching this right now, if you had $10 million, if I give you $10 million, but you cannot wake up tomorrow, would you rather take tomorrow or the 10 million? You're going to say, I'd rather take my life. I'd rather have 10 million. I'd rather have my life for the rest of my life than the $10 million because you know your life is worth more than $10 million. Even just tomorrow, even one day. If I say I could add one day of your life for 10 million, you're going to die today, or I could give you 10 million or whatever. Like, you're never going to take the money over the time, ever. So when people give you their money, they're really giving you a physical representation of their time that they can never get back. It's a physical representation of a spiritual resource. So they expect something back. This is why poor customer service is frowned upon. Because if somebody takes their spiritual resource of their time in the form of money and hands it to you, the least you could do is give me the spiritual resource of good energy back. That's why it's called customer service. You're serving me. And a lot of times we get arrogant and egotistical, and we think of service as servitude. And it's like something to look down on. But even Jesus Christ said he was a servant. Look, God is the ultimate servant. And I'm going to prove it to you right now with scripture. The first thing that God told us to do was what? People be like, oh, he told us not to eat the fruit. No, I'm talking about Adam and Eve times, right? What did God tell us to do first? Don't eat the fruit. No, that's not what it is. The first thing he told us to do was to work the garden. He told Adam to work the garden. It's the first thing he told man to do. When I say man, I'm saying human, right? Work the garden, till the ground, upkeep the garden of Eden. What does that mean? That means he had to give us a garden first. So the first thing God does is give. Then he says work. And then after you work and you prove it, that you work, you prove that you can handle this responsibility, then I'm going to give you Eve. Then he created Eve. He gave Adam more. So what am I saying that to say? In the terms of service, in the thought process of serving, right? You got to, if you're a business or an entrepreneur, this is why free samples work, right? I'm going to give you guys, right now I'm giving you guys a sample of what I know, the information I could pass to you, something I could give you for free right now. And then I'm going to say, if you want more, you got to do the work, go make the money to pay me to teach you more. Or to join, like I discounted the masterclass for next month. So if you want to be a part of our masterclass, go to the ULegend page, right? And go to the masterclass tab. And we discounted it. It's on sale right now. Usually I charge $200 a person. It's $50 right now. Go reserve your spot, right? But I come on here and I give you guys a little bit of game for free. So you can see, if I'm giving you this for free, imagine what I'm going to give you when you pay. Same thing God did in the garden. Same thing you should be doing in your business. You should serve first. For God to tell us to work the garden, he had to give us the garden first. It's the same thing. Drop a diamond in the chat if that makes sense to you guys. Give, serve, then everything else comes after. But if you're not serving nobody, nobody cares. Said, I saw you with the corner office views. Congrats, sir. Man, it's a blessing. Thank you. Thank you so much, man. It's a blessing. By the grace of God, I got the whole floor of the building. So I've been doing really well, man. The company's been doing really well. My employees and my staff is amazing, man. They do a great job and they deserve it. And I gave all them 401ks and everybody is taken care of, man. I feel really good. So by the grace of God, thank you. Yeah, we got a nice office, corner office downtown. Whole second floor is ours. It's a blessing. Said, congratulations on the Forbes. Thank you. Thank you. Said, I need to be in the masterclass. Yeah, you got to get in the masterclass while it's on sale, because I'm not going to do the sale forever. I'm going to up it because I got tiers in the entrepreneur group. So if you're in the ULegend Millionaire group, then obviously, like we got tiers. And so I'm not going to give the masterclasses away when I got people paying subscriptions every month. And the masterclass is a part of the subscription service. So we give it as a one-off, but we got to keep it on par with the pricing for the other groups because we want to be fair to the people that we're serving over there. You know what I'm saying? So you got to join the masterclass if you ain't, while it's on sale, because it's not, we'll probably do the sale for 3 days. And then we're going to do the class. So go get the class while it's $50 if you're trying to be in the class. Said I'm hella scattered, ADHD. Most great people have ADHD. I'm gonna be real. Like a lot of great entrepreneurs have ADHD. Said, how much are your training sessions? We do it. Our training sessions are in groups. So you can join the starter tier for free, or you can join the pro tier where you get different perks, and you can go to the website and you guys can see. Our pro tier is $490 or $479, $479. And then we have different. Our tiers go up based on your current state. So if you're already earning 6 figures, I recommend the elite tier because I'm gonna teach you how to go from 6 figures to a millionaire. But you can go to the website and check out which tier is right for you. We do business retreats for our clients, our highest tier clients. And I actually give you a millionaire's contact list because everybody's business is different. Some people need to be in contact. Like some people I have clients that live in like Ohio or Arkansas, and I live in California. So I have different friends in different circles. You may need a quality lawyer for whatever you're doing, or you may need somebody that, like we're in the wine business. You might need somebody in the wine business to accelerate what you're doing. And we put you in contact with those type of people in different tiers. So you got to go to figure out which tier is best for you. We have a free tier where you can just get resources and information. We have a $500 tier where you can get master classes and a little bit more personal coaching for whatever you got going on. And then we have a $1,500 tier where this is for people trying to become millionaires, which is a whole different thing. We give you a lot of different things in that tier as well. So go to the website, just check it out. Just hit that access granted button in the website scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Say, can you do more business lives? I do them every day. I'm here every day. I do these live streams every day, and then we do the master classes once a month. Said crypto. What do I think about crypto? Crypto, it's one of them things you gotta, one, kind of be informed on, and two, you gotta have the stomach for it because crypto go up and down. I always recommend that if you're not an experienced investor, I wouldn't go the crypto route. I would tell people to invest in index funds, or go get you a Vanguard account and invest in either an index fund or the term slipping my mind right now. It's Vanguard. You can go on mutual fund. Get you a mutual fund or an index fund. Said, when will the masterclass be? You got to sign up for it right now. We're filling up the masterclass now. So the masterclass is going to be soon, really soon. So we're filling up the class right now, and then for the people that's in there, they'll get an email. Everybody will get an email that signs up for the class. Say, do you know people in Atlanta and in Texas? I know people all over the world. I just worked with a client in Italy. I just helped a client in Italy get their scooter business booming. And I went out there and, I was helping them out. Said, no price is too high when investing in yourself. Well, I agree with that. But sometimes it depends on the value. See, when we come from, because I was poor at one point, we looked at the cost of things rather than the value of things. What do I mean by that? If I said, hey, I'll give you this t-shirt, or I give you this shirt, for $10,000, instinct when we come from nothing is no, because that costs too much. But if I said, hey, I'll give you this shirt for $10,000, but if you wear this shirt and you walk in that building, they're going to give you $20,000. You're going to say, oh yeah, give it to me. If it was true, right? Because now you're looking at the value, you're looking at what you get. And people, this is another thing. This is a tip for entrepreneurs. Get your notepads ready. This is a great tip for entrepreneurs and businesses as well. Diamonds in the chat if you're ready for this tip. People don't pay for things because that's what the thing is worth. They pay for things because the thing that I'm paying for is worth more. Diamond in the chat if that makes sense to you guys. Put a diamond in the chat. People don't pay for things because that's what the thing is worth. They pay for things because what I'm paying for is worth more. So If I say, hey, I got a mouse in my hand. If I say this mouse is $10, the problem of you not having a mouse is worth more than $10 for you. So that's why you will buy this for $10. So anything that I price, anything that, and I don't charge, you can go sign up for free right now and still get resources. And those are worth more than free. Like every tier, you're going to get more worth. Whatever I sell, anything I do sell, which I don't try to sell nothing. If you want to be a part of it, be a part of it. If not, we got thousands of people over there. I'm grateful. But and we got millions of people that watch the platforms. So God is good regardless. But the thing that you're selling should always be worth more than the price. That's the only reason people will want to buy. I don't want to buy something because that's what it's worth. I want to buy something because I got more than my money's worth. And then I compare everything. Like if $500 is a lot, you have to look at, well, you're going to spend $500 on DoorDash this month. Your car note, you're probably paying $800, $500 plus insurance. And that car don't make you no money. Your college degree, you spent $40,000, $20,000. How many of us got student loans out there? We spent a lot of money on these student loans, and you don't make no money off that college degree. You don't even work in the field that your degree is in, likely. A lot of us, or even if you tried to go get a job with that college degree that you paid $40,000, $20,000, $30,000 for, sometimes $100,000 for, try to go get a job with it. They're gonna tell you overqualified because you have the degree. So you've been sold that dream. So I look at it from the perspective of when I teach somebody something, I want them to learn this within 90 days. I always say 30 days. My employees be saying chill because I put a lot of work on them when I do that. And this is the thing, I give a money back guarantee, 100% money back guarantee. Anything that we have as a product in my company, You Legend, you see it on the screen down here, 100% money back guarantee. If you apply it and it does not work, then we give all the money back, all of it. Because I don't need money. You guys follow me on social media. If you don't, go follow me on social media. You guys see I've been rich a long time. God is good, man. So, I always 100% money back guarantee. That's what separates me from anything else and our company from anything else. I hate pyramid schemes because, bro, what if this don't work? Then all them MLM and the multi-level marketing, some people love that stuff. I don't love that stuff because if I never get, like, what if I sign up for this and I don't ever make no money or you don't teach me nothing? You gonna give me my money back? No. Me, I give people their money back, but nobody ever want their money back. Because every time I teach somebody something, they really go on. If you go and apply it, you can't lose. You know why? Because God has placed principles in place that it don't matter who plants the seed gonna grow. It don't matter if you're a good person, black person, white person, bad person, whatever type of person you are, a seed don't care who planted. If you plant the seed and do the work, it's gonna grow. Here's the thing. Some people plant seeds in winter and then be like, why it ain't growing? Well, the timing didn't line up, and then there's other circumstances around it. It got to be spring. But I teach you how to plant. I teach you how to plant the seed, and when the time is right, how to grow it. And that's a process. But if you don't get nothing back in a certain amount of time, and you feel like, man, I don't know, I didn't learn nothing, I didn't get nothing, I didn't make no money, and I try to make my thing is, I want you to 10x. You pay me $500, you're gonna 10x. You're gonna make 5,000 off that 500, and then the 500 don't feel like nothing. Money is a tool. It's meant to circle. Somebody said, "Are y'all hiring?" Always go to ulegend.com, the website right here. Let me help you. If you go to the media company, the media tab, you can scroll down and you can see all of our employment opportunities right there. We always hiring because I want the best talent, and I want the employees I got to know, like, hey, bro, if you don't do your job, we're gonna get the best talent because we here serving people. We're here to help people. And if the day you feel like you don't want to do that is the day I don't want you working here. God bless you, but we're gonna let you go. Let's see, what entrepreneur questions do you guys got outside of price? I don't want to talk about. I don't like selling. I'm not a salesman. But let's see. I'll answer. I hope you got any entrepreneurs or anybody that's thinking about starting a business in the chat. Ask your question right now, and I promise you, I'll give you real help right now. Something that you can't learn on Google as well. This is your chance. Said, let me see. Do you have a separate fee for personal mentorship or is it included with your classes? Then I have a separate fee for personal. I do one-on-ones, but I only take on a certain amount of clients because for the when I do personal one-on-ones, I take you with me to my business retreats for the company. I'll put you in front of people. We do a lot of different things. Like you get, we different things. You get to get on the helicopters and the jet with me. We have those conversations. We have fun on top of doing the business. So that's a whole different fee. But it's on the website. You guys can check it out. I don't want to just keep selling. I know I appreciate the interest, but go to the website, check it out. Just go to the website, hit the millionaires tab. Hit the millionaires tab. I'll show you real quick. All you got to do is go to the website. It's scrolling right here at the bottom of the screen, ulgnd.com. Hit that millionaires tab and then hit the access granted button. And it'll take you to all the information you're looking for. Let me see. A time management system help eliminate the scatter. Yeah. But sometimes sometimes it does. It depends on what type of person you are. Salute. I see all the diamonds in the chat. Said, I'm struggling with confidence or worth. How can I gain it? This is a very good question. A lot of people are just like you and they're not brave enough to ask that question because they feel like even asking that question, they would feel like it's not being confident, but it's not. That's actually very brave of you to ask that question. That's very confident of you to ask that. This is how you can fix a confidence issue. When you say I have a confidence issue, what you're really saying is I have a lack of preparation issue. You're not insecure. You don't lack confidence. You lack preparation. So when you're more than prepared, you will be more than confident. And if you're not a confident person, when you're more than prepared, you will be at least moderately confident. Confidence doesn't come from knowing or from just like, it's not innate. It's not inherent. You don't just get confidence because you're a confident person. You get confidence because either one, you're arrogant, or two, you're prepared. That's the only ways that you're going to have confidence. So I would say if you're struggling with confidence and you want to gain it, then you got to be more prepared. Now, if you're saying personally that you're struggling with it, that's a whole different thing. It could be chemical, and I don't want to give therapeutic advice. But in business, as an entrepreneur, if you like, I'm not a confident speaker, I don't know how to be, I want to be a public speaker, but I'm not confident. You got to get more prepared. You got to do the extra work because you have that deficiency internally. So I'm not that confident of a person. This is why being the person that can have the success is more important than actually doing the work to have the success. Because like I said earlier, if I plant a seed in the winter, it doesn't matter how hard I'll work on it. If I water it and put a sunlight on it, it's the winter time. It's not going to grow. But if I plant a seed in the right time and with the right circumstances, it will grow. So you have to be the person that can have success before you have success. If you're struggling with confidence and you need to gain it, in business as an entrepreneur, you need to get more prepared. You're not lacking confidence, you're lacking preparation. And the more you do something, the more confident you get. That's what I would say. I hope that helped. Said, I'm just trying to get into the videographer, cinematographer lane. However, I have many other skills. I was thinking of starting a YouTube channel. Hard to move around Cali at the moment. Any advice? Hard to move around Cali? Okay. Are you saying from the house you want to start a channel? As a videographer, cinematographer, I have a lot of those clients in my network as well. I train a lot of videographers and cinematographers, and I've never held a camera. I just train them on the business side. And what I've learned is, and then you tell me if this is the case with you, a lot of them think that all people want is crispy videos. Like a lot of my clients that are in the videography lane, they just like, people just want crispy videos. And that's not the case. People want, I teach people this. I charge people to teach them this. Let me see what I could give you for free. People don't just want crispy videos. You have to think about, it's not just about making the quality of the video good. Think about how you're serving those people. So people every day they already know what they want to watch. They already know what they want to watch. If you have a crispy video on something that people already want to watch, then it's just a bonus. But people click something knowing they want to watch it before they click it. The decision to watch a video or watch your content if you're starting a YouTube channel, like you said, they're already going to decide before they click it. They're searching for this, or it's in their timeline, or they've been watching videos on this already and they get put in your algorithm, or you get put in theirs. So think from the service perspective. I'm here to give people what they want first. Kendrick Lamar had a line saying that on his album. He was like, F what they asking, F being rational, give them what they ask for. Boom, boom, boom. It's not enough, right? Like, it's not about being rational. It's about giving people what they ask for. And that's a very profound line that people skip over. But you got to be, considerate of that. So if you're starting a YouTube channel, think from the perspective of the audience and start there. What do people want to watch? And then as a videographer, let me make crispy videos based on that. With my clients, that's always one of the biggest hurdles, because people are so in love with their craft, they don't think about how their craft actually serves other people. I can do this with any business, yo. I train everybody. We work with multi-million-dollar companies, beer companies, alcohol companies. I work with everybody. A lot of the things that you guys see don't know behind the scenes. People are coming to me from marketing and to teach their executives how to actually run businesses. Say, you seem so nice. I try to be. I try to be approachable. I spent a lot of my life wasting time trying to not be approachable. So I try to help as many people. I think that's just the Holy Spirit. Because it ain't, So what's a good way to find a mentor as a beginner? Where do I look? How do I approach? I think the best way to find a mentor is to find somebody. I mentor people, right? And I always teach people the best way to find a mentor is find somebody that has the heart of a teacher and not the heart of a salesman. Everybody is trying to run their business. So it can never be just philanthropic work. It can never be just charity. But do they have the heart of a teacher? Are they really trying to teach you something? Or are they just trying to make money off of you and you feel like, I need to take a shower after I talk to that person? That's how you're going to, off the bat, weed out who you should be working with, the people that make you feel like a teacher. The second thing I tell people, don't go get a coach or a mentor that only is going to teach you things that you can learn on Google. If you can learn it on Google, why are you getting a coach? I compete with colleges because I want to expedite the process. You're not going to sit with Will Evans for 4 years to learn how to be a specialist in something. I'm going to teach you how to be a specialist in anything. You're going to know your field more than me, but I could teach you how to be a specialist on success, because I've done that, and I've done it for a long time. And I've been a millionaire, and I am a millionaire, and I've been a millionaire for years. And I've been earning six figures. And I can show you how I made $100,000 in a month 5-6 years ago through business, not through no nonsense. So you got to find somebody that actually knows what the hell they're doing and know how to teach you things that you cannot just get on ChatGPT or Google, or learn things a college professor wouldn't know because they never applied the information, or things that a pyramid scheme is not going to waste your time pretending like they're going to teach you. You got to find somebody that has the heart of a teacher and find somebody that can teach you information that you cannot find on your own, because that's going to expedite the process for you. The whole point of hiring a mentor or a coach is for them to make the process faster than any other way you could do it. I wish I knew about mentors and coaches before I didn't learn until my first year of being a millionaire. I had already made six figures for 3 years, and then became a millionaire in my 4th year. And I had been working my business at that point for 7 years. And I've been doing this for 9 years now. So I did so much work. I could have expedited all that and did it in 2 or 3 years if I had the right coach, or if I knew about mentors and coaching. I just didn't know. I'm from the hood. You gotta, to answer your question, what's a good way to find a mentor as a beginner? Where do I look? How do I approach? You got to find somebody with the heart of a teacher. If you're a beginner, they don't feel like a salesman, they feel like a teacher. And then and I'll tell you, I would recommend going to join my entrepreneur networking group. A lot of people don't have a network. Like, you don't have nobody around. So go to my website and join the entrepreneur group. Because one of the biggest things that I lacked when I was trying to become successful early on, when I was in my teens and early 20s, is I didn't have nobody around me successful. I didn't know anybody successful. So I couldn't network. And I hated networking as well, because I'm really a reserved person. I've become more outgoing as I've grown. But I was a reserved person at the time. So I created a networking group where entrepreneurs come together and we all network together. So you can sign up on my website. And that was a need that I saw because it was a need I had in the beginning. If I could just network from my house, like I'm giving you guys through the website the ability to do that through my website. You can network from home now. We have a whole group over here, thousands of members, millionaires, six-figure earners, and you can learn from them. We do networking sessions. We do calls. You can listen in on those calls. Those are all part of their perks. We do events. You can pull up to the events in real life. We do virtual events like the masterclass we got coming. Go get your seat to the masterclass. We just got it on sale. We normally charge $200, but it's $50 right now. Go check it out on the website. It's ulegend.com, ulgnd.com, ulgnd.com. This is my shameless plug. But, go do that and join that. That's how you get started. Said, my dad has a business I work for. I have no interest in the type of business and services he offers, but the foundation is there. Should I apply all I know into his company or double down on my own? I would answer that question by saying, what is your reasoning behind both of those things? I need more context. If you're applying all that you know into his company, what is your reasoning for doing that? And then if you're doubling down on your own, what would be your ultimate reason for doing that? Give me that context and I'll help you right now. Said, okay, so I should have a customer service consulting business. Well, are you an expert on something? You don't be a coach or a consultant unless you're an expert. You got to really know what you're doing because you can't play with people money. I have that moral just in general from where I come from. I don't play with people money. If they pay me for something, I'm gonna over deliver. I don't play games. But if you're an expert in something, yeah, I would recommend consulting. Solomon in the Bible was a consultant, and he was the wisest man in the world. Let me see if bro, I need the context. It was Alexis Aguiar. I need the context of why you're doing what you're doing. Said, where can I find a good layout to start a free workshop for indigenous teens and young women? What do you mean a good layout? You mean a website? You could search. I don't teach things that you can learn on Google. So I would Google that question. Unless it's like I try to teach people things that they can't learn on Google or that you can't Google, because if you could Google it, then what do I need to teach it to you for? You know what I mean? But if you got a bunch of questions, we do a Q&A. I do a Q&A in the masterclass. So just go join the masterclass, and if you got a bunch of questions, I'll give you a couple back to back in the Q&A. I want to check out, help my brother right here. He said, I'm an artist and musician. He's in the construction field. If I apply everything I know into his business, it will take time away from pursuing my true passion. If I work for him because it helps him. Okay. Art, I think I don't want to say go work in your dad's field if it's something that you genuinely don't want to do. But if you need to make money right now, because I'm sensing that. If you need to make money and you're an artist or a musician, you need to go earn the money. See, when I was starting my business, even though I was passionate about this, I still had to work a job to get here because I didn't come from money. So I didn't have nobody funding my thing. I worked in construction before I did what I did now. I did that for 5 years though. And my last 2 years in construction, I was actually able to start investing in my business because I started working on the side on top of the construction business or the construction job I had. So sometimes you got to do what you have to do so you can do what you want to do. And it's okay to take time away from your passion. Sometimes you got to schedule your passion after you handle your responsibility. Responsibility come first. So if you work for your dad, and it's gonna, I would look for the keys in working for your dad that make you successful. So when I'm saying that, this is what I mean. When I worked construction, it taught me how to be a great employee. I was the best employee that any job ever had. Every time I went there, I worked my ass off. And it's important to do that, because when you learn how to be a great employee, now that I employ people and I have a multi-million-dollar company, when I look for employees, I know what to look for. Or as a leader, I'm not a boss. I'm nobody's boss. I'm just the leader of the company. I own the company. So I pay everybody's paycheck, but I've learned how people think because I've been an employee before. So I know what's important to them. And that matters. You can never be a great leader. I don't like calling people boss. You're not, God is the boss. You're not nobody's boss. But you can never be a great leader of any business, or even in your art and your music. You can't be a great leader of your crew if you don't know how to be a great follower. So if working for your father is going to make you a better follower and a better soldier, then ultimately that will make you a better leader in business. And I would give that advice to any entrepreneur. Don't be afraid to get behind somebody first. And then learn other things because you're going to learn things that you think that your dad don't know, but he actually does. You're going to learn, and it may not be things that you think directly apply, but they do. You know what I'm saying? Make some money, fund your projects. He said, got you, man. Thank you. I'm going to keep working with them to make money and fund my own projects. Yeah, make your money. Keep working with them and go into it thinking, this is what I'm here for a reason. I'm here to pursue my passions. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, as a business, to make money on a business, your passions have to also serve other people. So you got to find that too for it to be profitable. But that's the advice I would give on that. Said, I'm interested in growing a garden to feed people and earn income from it, but I don't know how to go about it, getting the land with no money and getting the business started. You got to start where you are. So if all you have is your backyard, or if all you have is your kitchen, you got to start right there. The internet has opened the doors for everybody. I love teaching people personal branding, because a lot of people don't realize, like, they think they don't have these big fancy things. When I started my personal brand, I had little to nothing. I had a small pink duplex. I was working construction, but I started my business from that, and then it just grew into this massive thing. So start with what you have. Do everything you can with what you have right now. If all you have is a couple pots and you're doing a garden and you're trying to feed people, start off. This is the advice I would give you. Find the local farmers market in your community, if you have one. If you have a farmers market, right? And if you don't, you need to be standing on the side of the road trying to sell your fruits and vegetables, and say that this is organic, homegrown. Make a sign, and literally go out there and hustle. That's how you start until you stack the money up to get the business running to the where you. But a lot of people try to start with the universe like God did, and you can't start with the universe. Think universe. Start with a seed. So I would say use everything you can. If you don't have the money to get land or get the business started, then you need to start where you are and work your way up using that. Go to the local farmer market, pay the $100 or whatever, get $100, or borrow it from somebody. Go out there, sell your fruits and vegetables, and find a way to be there consistently. Get you started, or get online and start showing people how to grow a garden. Because if you can grow a garden in your kitchen and show people online, this is how I grow tomatoes, this is how I grow whatever, and you can have your own at home and use a marketing tool like the times we in right now. You never know, eggs is this price, groceries is this price. That's how I would start a garden right now. Serve a lot of people. I would teach them how to do it online, because a lot of people don't know how to grow food. So I wouldn't focus so much on feeding people. I think you have the right heart. You're trying to serve people, but I think you need to focus on just adjusting how you serve people. Maybe it's not feeding people. Maybe it's teaching people how to feed themselves. That's what Jesus did. This is what God did in the garden. Why did he tell Adam in the Garden of Eden? God told Adam to work first. Then he said, don't eat the fruit from the garden. Then he gave Adam something. But for all that to happen, he had to give him the garden first, right? But then he said, work. And then he says, work. He tells Adam to work because he wants Adam to be able to do it for himself and teach Eve how to do it next. That's why he tells us the first thing to do is work the garden. Then after you worked, then he gave Adam Eve. When he said it's not good for man to be alone, God already knew it wasn't good for man to be alone. He didn't have to wait until Adam was lonely, but he needed Adam to go out and do the work so he can learn. Adam can learn that how to do it so he could teach it to Eve before God just gave him Eve. So the best thing I would say for your business specifically, teach them. Teach people how to grow a garden. Teach people how to feed themselves. And watch, people are going to say you're the expert in it, and then your business will grow. People will send you donations. People will do different things. Drop a diamond if that's good advice that you guys think. Drop a diamond in the chat. So I saw a video where you said the most successful people are the ones who obsess over others' problems. That statement helped me shift my whole mindset. Just want to say thank you for that one as well. God bless you, man. Thank you. Thank you. Anything I say that's correct come from above. Anything that's incorrect, it come from me. I've studied this stuff. I learn more than I do anything all day. So it's a blessing when I'm able to share something I learned with somebody else. Let me see what else you guys got. I'm hitting these. I'm in the super chat. I see you, or I'm in the chat right now. I'm seeing what you guys got to say. If you learn something, go leave me a review. Go leave the company a review. We just got our Yelp and we just got our Google business page. So just search You Legend Media. I'll put it in the chat how to spell it. Search it on Google and search it on Yelp. Leave us a review, a 5-star. If you learn something in the chat, that helps us grow. We just got our pages up, so that's been a blessing. I'm gonna have my clients go over there soon too. And then we got almost 1,200 people in the entrepreneur group, so that's been a blessing. 1,200 people in the entrepreneur group, You Legend Millionaires, and the masterclass is coming soon, guys. So go get your seat, reserve your seat in the masterclass. It's on sale right now, and the reason I put it on sale is because you guys have been voting like crazy. I get to see everybody that's voting for me for the Forbes list, and I don't know if I showed you guys that on this live stream, but man, I'm blessed, man. We're about to be on the Forbes list. You guys have been voting for me like crazy, and I'm really grateful for that. So I was like, I'm gonna put a discount for everybody that's watching the streams and all that for the masterclass, the next one. But man, let me show you guys the Forbes listing. So I'm nominated for the Forbes Entrepreneur of Impact. And right now they got me 4th, and they doing like a tiers, like they cutting tiers out. So if you ain't voted for me yet, go vote for me. You guys get to vote for. They're gonna be doing voting for a long time, but I'm 4th right now. But you guys have been voting for me like crazy, so I'm discounting the Entrepreneur Masterclass. But it's a blessing, man. I'm getting the. I'm gonna win. So we're about to be in Forbes. I'm gonna be in Forbes soon. I'm a nominee right now, but we're gonna be a winner soon. So here's a question: if I sign up for that seat, is it time sensitive, or can I get to it on my time? You can get to it on your time. So we'll do the master class is actually we're gonna do it live, and then you're gonna get a link where you can access it for like 30 days, and then you get all the downloads. You could download it all. So if you don't get to the masterclass, like let's say you get your masterclass and you don't have time to sit down live, then you'll be able to go to your page, to the page that you get in your email, and you'll be able to access it later as well. And it'll be on a link that only you have if you signed up. So you'll be able to access it forever because you signed up for that one. So you don't have to worry about it. But we only doing a sale for 3 days. Maybe a little less. I think I'm gonna do it until Saturday. What's today? Today, Tuesday, I think. So we'll do it until Saturday. So why is the caption under the video about Diddy? We talked about Diddy for the first hour. We talked about all that information. It's community hour. If you're new to the channel, we do a community hour for entrepreneurs only after we talk about the topic of the day. So I'm assuming that you're a new subscriber. But yeah, all my subscribers and all the people that follow the channel and follow the movement, you guys know what it is. We already talked about Diddy. Go watch the replay. We're not going to talk about Diddy all day. He ain't that important. God bless you guys. Said, congratulations, big dog. Appreciate you, man. This is community hour. If you just joined in on the live stream, this is community hour. So if you want to watch the Diddy part, you got to go watch the rewind. Said, finna grab it now because knowledge is power and still sharpen still. Amen. Still sharpen steel. The masterclass is going to be dope, man. I'm going to make sure I have a really good lesson for you guys coming up soon. And like I said, you can access it forever. You'll be able to always go back and watch it. And then you also get the PDF file of the Cliff Notes. And it's a couple other things over there. You guys got to go check it out. Drop a diamond in the chat if you learned something today. I'm about to sign out of here. Diamonds in the chat if you learned something. If you guys have the time, go over to the Forbes list. I'm nominated for a Forbes award. Go to for the Entrepreneur of Impact Award. Go over there and vote for me. It's based on voting. They voting for whoever the entrepreneurs. Some of them people over there, they paying for votes because you could do donations, but they're gonna weed them out and see that you can't buy your own votes. So them people are gonna get exposed. But go vote for me for that. If you ain't or if you are an entrepreneur, then join the masterclass. We putting it on sale. And I put it on sale because everybody's been voting like crazy to get me on that Forbes list. So I wanted to bless you guys back. So we're going to do a cheaper entrepreneur masterclass this month. So go get that. If you learn something and you guys don't want to do the masterclass or you don't want to vote for me, at least go drop a review on the company, Legend Media, ULGND. I'm putting it in the chat right now. Go do a Google review or a Yelp review and say you learned valuable information. That's going to help our business grow. And we're going to help a lot more people if you guys do that. So go give us a 5-star review somewhere. Man, I love you guys. God bless you guys. Thank you for being here. We're going to pray this thing out. Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you, God, grateful for information, grateful that you've given us the ability to generate wealth. As you said in Deuteronomy chapter 8 and verse 18, you've given us the power to create wealth. God, I ask that you bless everybody under the sound of my voice. Anybody that has a business out there that they're trying to figure out what they got going on, God, I ask that you bless their business right now with financial abundance. Bless them with the mindset of abundance, God, knowing that they lack nothing, as you told us in your word. They lack nothing, God. They have everything that they need right now to be successful and to get where they need to get to. God, I ask that you bless all these people that are going through hardships, everybody in the LA fires right now, everybody across the world that's victims of different things. God, I ask that you bring them comfort. And people that want to know you, God, I ask that you reveal yourself in a way that only you can, that they know is truly from you. God, we are so grateful to be alive today, and we want to thank you for that gift. In Jesus' name, amen. I love you guys. I love you guys. Make sure you guys sign up for the masterclass. We'll be doing that soon. And thank you guys once again, man. I can't thank you guys enough for voting for me to be on this Forbes list. Keep voting. Keep voting. I'm 4th right now, but that's okay because some people is faking their votes, buying them, putting bots. We're going to win that, though, because everybody's genuine. We can see who's voting for who. I can see everybody that's voting for me over there. So when we win that Forbes list, you guys know we celebrating, and I'm going to probably do something for free for you guys, a big event, if I win that, because that's going to be a celebration. We're going to do a big event. And I got events coming in this year anyway for the company. So God bless you guys. I'll see you guys on the next live stream. Make sure you tune in tomorrow or go to my other channel where we're going to be going live in about 30 minutes. The other channel is the Will Evans channel. It's on my homepage. If you go to the homepage and click that channel, subscribe over there. I'm going to be doing all entrepreneur content only. So go over there. We're going to start a new live stream in about 30 minutes. I'm going to get some lunch. We're going to come back and we're going to get back to work, man. I love you guys. See you guys in soon.